There we go. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Kanyen'kehá:ka Mohawk people, part of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. This land, now called Cornwall, has been a place of gathering, learning, and community for Indigenous peoples, including the Akwesasne Mohawk, Algonquin, and Anishinaabe for generations. With gratitude and respect, I invite us all to reflect on the deep history of this land and the responsibility we share in the journey toward truth, reconciliation, and meaningful change. So thank you for you all for joining us today for our Vibrant Communities Spotlight. We're so glad that you're here. The Spotlight series is all about showcasing the incredible people, organizations, and initiatives that are making our community more inclusive, connected, and resilient. And it's a space to learn from one another, spark new ideas, and celebrate the impactful work being done across our region. So today, we're excited to shine that spotlight on community leaders who are doing just that, supporting mental wellness and building compassion-driven services right here in our area. And so please join me in welcoming Angele and Tammy from the Canadian Mental Health Association, Champlain East. So Angele and Tammy have been passionate advocates for mental health in our community. And today they'll be sharing insights into the work CMHA Champlain East is doing, how they're supporting individuals and families, and ways we can all contribute to a mentally healthier community. So Angele and Tammy, we're thrilled to have you both with us, and the floor is yours.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So just we're both going to share this presentation. I'll start. Tammy will kind of join in for programs and services, and then I'll end the presentation with some of our mental health education. So welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm very excited to be able to promote some of our services. So as you can see on the screen here, we've been around in our community for 50 years, actually celebrating 50 years this year. Very proud of that. But we are I don't know if people know this, but we are one of the oldest nonprofit organizations in Canada, celebrating well over 100 years. We were established in 1918. So that's exciting. I always love sharing that with people. So yes, we do have many branches here in Ontario. We're one of 30, in fact. But we're here to talk about CMHA Champlain East, which covers the areas of SDG, Akwesasne, and Prescott Russell. Who we are as an organization, we're a community-based agency that provides services, client-centered services to individuals who are 16 years of age and older. All of our services are confidential, and all of our services are offered at no cost and is funded by the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. I want to specify that would be services, direct services to clients. Mental health promotion, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, is not funded by the Ministry of Health, and we rely solely on grants and fundraisers and donations to be able to operate our services. So we're going to separate. Tammy will talk about the ministry funded, and I'll talk about the non-ministry funded a little bit later on. So just to show the area that we cover. So we cover all of SDG and Prescott Russell, and as I mentioned, Akwesasne. So we do have offices in Cornwall. That is our main office in SDG, and our main office in Prescott Russell is Hawkesbury. As well in SDG, we have an office space in Mooresburg, Akwesasne, and Alexandria. In Prescott Russell, we have additional office space in Castleman, Plantagenet, Rockland, and that the purpose of that is to be accessible to our community, as well as two resource centers, one connected to our main office, Cornwall, and one connected to our main office in Prescott Russell, Hawkesbury. Tammy will talk more about our resource centers, so I won't elaborate on that. So just to talk a little bit about our vision, mission, and values, we are an agency that is mental health for all. That is our mandate. That is what we believe in. Through our mission, our goal is to promote and improve mental health in our community by delivering community-based services and programs in a variety of ways that meets the needs of our clients, whether that be in mental health education or whether that be direct client services. And again, Tammy will elaborate on that. To talk about our values, some of our values include integrity, excellence, accessibility, which I will say we are very strong on. You can learn more about that on our website by reading our accessibility document. Accountability, but most importantly, person-centered. And I have the pleasure of working with many intensive case managers and other departments. And I will say that that is one of our strongest attributes and qualities, is how dedicated everyone is to the clients that they serve. So I will pass it on to my colleague, Tammy, who will kind of break down some of the direct client services and what we can do to support our community.
So I'm Tammy. I've been with CMHA for 35 years, most of that time as an intensive case manager. Way back when, worked in the group homes that we had. So I'm going to talk about our services, and in particular our case management program and community support services. As Angèle already said, we're funded by the Ministry of Health and long-term care, and our services are for individuals who have a severe and persistent mental illness and or concurrent disorder. Next. So we focus on recovery principles. Our case management focuses on community-based services for the clients, and it's goal-oriented and goal-centered, making sure that they are focusing on the goals that they want to work on. The hope is to reduce hospitalization. We also look at the client-focused philosophy, so looking at client first and recognizing that their mental illness, they want to prefer to focus on their wellness rather than the illness, and that's one of the main things that we look at. We want to be able to understand the client and put the person first rather than looking at the diagnosis and the behaviors. So the main focus of our services for case management is the community support services. We offer services to clients age 16 and up. Our services are flexible, portable, community-based, so we can meet the client at their home, in the office, at a restaurant. It really depends on what their needs are. We look at all the different goals that they want to work on, the essential life skills. It's really up to the client to make the decision about the goals and services that they want. Within our community support services, we have a number of other programs. So we have our intensive case management program, community treatment orders, pre-charge and post-charge, diversion, release from custody, court support, post-court transitional ICM, supportive housing, our hoarding response program, supportive employment, and youth in transition program. So there are a lot of services that we offer. I will go over each one in a little bit of detail. And then if there's questions towards the end, we can look at that. So admission criteria for our program is an individual has to be 16 years of age or older, living with a severe mental illness and or concurrent disorder. And they have to reside in SDG, Prescott Russell, Akwesasne. They also have to be willing to work on goals. So our program is voluntary. It's not mandated. Referrals can be made by the client, family, other professionals, hospital, really anybody and anybody can refer. They can refer through our website. So you can access our referral form directly on our website. There is a section that will say, although if you're using the PowerPoint, the CareDev forms is a direct link to our referral. However, if you're not using the PowerPoint, you would have to go onto our website. And there is a section that says referral form that you can complete, whether it be the client or another service provider. Once the client is referred, an intensive case manager will then conduct a detailed intake assessment. So it's not an assessment to determine their diagnosis, it's an assessment to determine eligibility for services. our intensive case management program. So that's the main umbrella over all of the services. And we look at basic needs like food, shelter, finances, and help the client develop some skills and goals in order to improve their quality of life and to be able to live independently. Clients work with an intensive case manager to work on those goals and help them stabilize, improve their quality of life, look at working on the goals that they've set for themselves. As a case manager, we also work with a lot of other service providers. One of our goals is to help link clients to other resources, which could include criminal justice system, addiction services, developmental disability. And so we're really looking at helping the client develop all the tools and supports that they need with family, with other resources within the community. So one of the things with our intensive case management, we are looking at helping them and determine what their abilities are, what their strengths are, what their needs are. It's one-on-one supportive counseling. We really do want to focus on the recovery, help the client develop a crisis management plan, life skill guidance, linkage to desired services and needed supports. Advocating on their behalf to make sure that their rights are being protected, to help with the rehabilitation, system navigation, which I mean, it's difficult under any circumstance. So assisting clients with navigating our complex system, and then monitoring, assisting, making sure that the goals that they've assigned for themselves are effective, and that it's improving their quality of life, that they are independent. And at the end, we look at discharge planning. So we are working with the client to say, these are the areas that you've worked on. Are you ready to work independently? And so it's not services are ended and you are done. We help them look at planning what is their next move. What are the goals that they need to maintain? Through our intensive case management program, we also have community treatment orders. So it provides intensive case management services to individuals facing significant mental health challenges who are on a community treatment order. It is a more of a, I wouldn't say legal document, but it is much more complex. It helps the clients with support, basic needs, connecting with other resources. It's a little bit more complicated than what's listed here. And if people want more information afterwards, I'm more than willing to elaborate a little bit more than what the slides provide.
Perfect.
Our court support program. So under our court support program, referrals can come in from the client themselves, criminal justice system, duty counsel, legal counsel, community, and it's for individuals who have a mental illness and substance-related problems, and they're involved in the criminal justice system. So under that, we have our pre-charge diversion program. So it diverts offenders who have committed a minor offense and are living with a mental illness and or concurrent disorder. So it diverts them away from the judicial, oh my goodness, that's a hard one to get out, the judicial system. We also have release from custody for vulnerable individuals. So that's so that clients can access their personal effects that would have went with them when they went to, let's say, OCDC, and it's just to ensure that those things come back, like medication, ID, and it's in a sealed envelope. We have our court support program, so we're looking at providing support to individuals who have been charged with a minor offense, and it's just to prevent, I guess, re-offending, helping clients look at the support, navigating the court system. That's pretty much for court support. We have the post-charge mental health diversion. So it's a service provided to support individuals who've been charged with minor offenses where mental health has been determined as one of the factors of the offense. The purpose of the service is to assist individuals providing intensive case management services such as referrals, advocacy, education, and again, to assist on the recovery. Once they have successfully completed this part of the program, the individual's charges can be withdrawn and may not appear on their criminal record. We also have post-court transitional intensive case management. So it's looking at providing support with regards to housing and community services, again, for individuals with a mental illness who have been involved in the criminal justice system and they require further assistance afterwards. So affordable housing, ongoing support with regards to mental health and maintaining their basic needs. Our housing and support program. So we have a supportive housing program. So it's to be able to assist clients in finding affordable housing, allowing them to live independently in the community, and just overall improve their quality of life. The whole goal is to hope to prevent homelessness, support clients who are at risk of becoming homeless. Support is given to help clients maintain, access housing, work on their goals, advocate with landlords, look at their client rights, tenant rights, information around that. So it allows clients to be able to maintain and sustain their current housing. Under that, we have a rent supplement program. So when available, our rent supplement program is provincially funded. So it provides a rent subsidy to individuals who require financial assistance to obtain and maintain suitable housing. So as we know, the cost of housing is unreal. And with OW, ODSP, or the working poor, being able to afford housing is very, very difficult. So our program allows us to provide a subsidy to the landlord to help offset the cost of the rent. Through our housing program, we also have a hoarding response program. So this is for clients experiencing homelessness who are at risk of homelessness, or to be able to maintain and remain housed. This is for clients with a hoarding disorder or difficulties who are living in a non-safe environment. We provide mitigation for clients who have been identified by the community as a risk of homelessness or harm related to hoarding activities. And we look at developing a community integrated approach. So helping clients identify where are the struggles, how can we help with this? And we also have a group specifically for that called BIT, and it's Buried in Treasures. Another component of our programs is our community homes for opportunity. It used to be in the past called Homes for Special Care. Right now, the only place is at Riverview Manor. And it's to provide support for clients who live in a residential setting to be a little bit more able to take care of their own needs. So things like personal growth, development, improving their life skills. At one point, these funds were not necessarily given to the client, but services were done for them. And now the clients have a little bit more accountability and structure as to how they want to use these funds for themselves. We also have a supportive employment program. So this is for clients to help them reach their employment goals. So we look at identifying what are the challenges with finding employment. Are they ready for employment? We may look at supporting them with accessing specific training, work on the skills that they need in order to be able to go back to work, focus on recovery, look at resumes, interview preparation. So there's a lot of different things that we can provide support with regarding being ready to go back to work We often work in partnership with Job Zone for these things as well. And then we have our youth and transition program. So this is a program for teenagers and young adults who are transitioning from youth programs to adult services related to their mental health and addiction. They have to be.
Oh.
Sorry?
Am I? Hold your computer first.
Somebody is, okay. So it's for individuals between the ages of 16 and 24 who are not yet involved in adult mental health. And we also have our resource centers, so known as Horizon and is it Oasis now? Now I have myself wondering. Oasis and Starbright. We used to have one called Horizon in Castleman. So we offer a resource center to individuals 16 years of age and older, again, living with a severe mental illness and or concurrent disorder, and are experiencing social isolation. So it offers a client a place to go in the community where they can participate in different activities, focus on emphasizing like the mental health and physical health. We really want to give an opportunity where clients can participate in different groups, increase their social interaction, a sense of belonging, meeting new people. Our hope is that it would help prevent rehospitalization. There are resources that we have that come in and provide groups and workshops.
The calendar for each of these locations, if you're interested, is also on our website as well, if you're trying to promote this service to your own clients.
So part of the services through our resource center, it is a social recreational activity center. So there's card games, there's billiards, coffee, there's conversation, bingo, beanbag. They have a trip to the Sugar Bush this week. We have like a collective kitchen, art projects, meal deals, baking groups. It really is dependent on the clients that are there and the services that they want. They have a say in most of the programming that goes on and the groups that they want to participate in. And as Angèle said, our calendar is available on the website. Clients do need to be assessed though for suitability. It isn't a drop-in center, so they can't just drop in. They need to be assessed for services first.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Tammy, but they don't necessarily have to have a diagnosis of a mental illness. It can be social isolation as well.
That's right.
But they still have to.
They still have to go through an intake assessment for services, but they do not need to be diagnosed with depression or any mental illness. The social isolation part is what we're wanting to prevent. So that would be the main criteria for anybody else.
Thank you. All right, so that brings us, so thank you very much, Tammy. As you can see, we have a variety of programs to meet different needs of individuals in our community. As well, part of our mandate is to educate, raise awareness, decrease stigma. So that is what mental health promotion does. We do that with education. We do that with campaigns throughout the year. So we do align ourselves with 4 specific campaigns, which is coming up in May, Mental Health Week. We also have World Suicide Prevention Day every September 10th. So we usually rally, particularly with our Suicide Prevention Coalition around this initiative. Then following that in October is Mental Illness Awareness Week. So that campaign is really focused on raising awareness and decreasing stigma. And then in January, we focus again on stigma with Bell Let's Talk and or Blue Monday. So those are some of the campaigns that we focus on throughout the year. But our mandate in mental health promotion is to design increased general understanding of mental health, common mental health topics, and also build skills, whether that be in the workplace, whether that be in the community, whether that be in a school, various opportunities And I'll talk a little bit more about that. I've been working with the Canadian Mental Health Promotion Department for 19 years, and we have been operational for 25. So we have been very, very fortunate to receive funding throughout the 25 years to continue to do the work we do. I remember being hired in 2006, and they said, well, it's going to be year by year. We'll let, every year. So we never really knew if I was going to be here long term, but with the generous contributions of our community fundraising, we've been very fortunate to do this work. And it's very enjoyable, and we have a lot of support from our community partners. So thank you for that. So a little bit more about the types of programs we offer. We do really focus on evidence-based programming. That is the majority of the trainings that we offer. Things like ASSIST and mental health first aid and Safe Talk, to name a few. It changes and evolves year over year. It really is dependent on our funding. As you can see here, a large part of our funding is through the United Way in East Ontario, which is Prescott Russell, and SDG, which is this area here. So we really do focus on the grants that we're receiving. So what are some of those key initiatives that they're funding, as well as what is our funders requesting. For years, it was talking about mental illness in schools, and that has now shifted, and we'll be focusing more on community and workplaces moving forward. But the schools will still have an opportunity to participate in our campaigns. So we do collaborate with many organizations, like I said, key stakeholders in our community, workplaces. We've recently partnered with Grant Mario to really focus on men's mental health as an example. So wherever there's a need and funding opportunities, we definitely, we don't refuse any funds. Let's just put it that way. So just quickly to elaborate, and you will have access to our catalog if you're interested in some of our educational opportunities, but one that is very popular is ASSIST, which is Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training. It's a 2-day training that builds skills around suicide first aid. In addition to that, we have Safe Talk, which is a half-a-day training for those who want to be alert to the signs of suicide and redirect to either professionals in our community or those trained in ASSIST. So we need different levels of safety in our community. So that's why Living Works is the leaders in suicide prevention education. And we continuously upgrade our skills to meet those needs and deliver evidence-based quality education to our community. Other workshops that we've been offering for quite a few years is mental health first aid. So this used to be a 2-day training, but again, they're evolving with the needs of our community as well, and Canada-wide, because this is a program of the Commission, Mental Health Commission of Canada. So they train us, and then we train our community to deliver this training, which is similar to ASSIST. So mental health first aid addresses declining mental health and crisis, specifically for mental health concerns. That could be depression, that could be anxiety, substance use, as well as crises like psychosis, overdose, panic attacks, just to name a few. So it's to give you skills, whether you're working or even for families. It is really for anyone who wants to gain these skills to help support someone with decline or crisis, to connect them with services that may be needed. So these, so ASSIST, Safe Talk, and Mental Health First Aid are paid trainings. When funding becomes available, we at times offer it for free to the community, specifically around campaigns. We tend to do that. But in general, there is a cost to our trainings. Currently, ASSIST and Mental Health First Aid are $200 per person, and Safe Talk is $80. But that can change over time. So I do encourage people to look at our catalog for the most up-to-date rates on these presentations. We also focus, as we mentioned earlier, we're mental health for all. Not everyone can afford to pay for training, so we do offer several free programs to our community that anyone can participate in, including clients from other. We really want to work collaboratively with other partners to encourage clients to participate in some of our programs. Mood Walks is something we've been offering for a few years, and it's a program designed to support both mental health and physical health, because you can't have one without the other, and that's part of our education. They both coexist. So this is a program that really focuses on that. In addition to that, the social connection piece, and Tammy spoke to that, that is really a primary focus of our organization, is to increase social connection, because we know that it decreases symptoms and improves well-being. So that is a big part of everything that we do. And in particular with Mood Walks, we try to offer this program in a green space, whether that be a trail, a park, because there's a lot of evidence to support that being connected to nature can really greatly improve mental health, especially when you're doing an activity like a walk with a social group and you're talking. So this program is wonderful. It's free. It often incorporates a healthy meal, usually a lunch, or in the evening, a healthy snack. So we offer these programs at different times. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the evening, depending. So we just try to capture the needs of our community. So if people are working, obviously they're going to join an evening program. Some people prefer to walk in the morning, so it's very versatile. And it's seasonal, so we tend to offer one every season: spring, summer, even winter. We go snowshoeing, and spring. So free to register. So we do promote all of our events on our Facebook and our website under events, and you can encourage people to sign up. Another free program that we offer the community is Living Life to the Full. We've had a lot of success with this program. It always fills up to the point where we have a wait list. So this program is 8 sessions, and it provides workbooks based in cognitive behavior therapy. It is not therapy. It is based on some of the key themes that people struggle with the most, like self-esteem, low mood, anger, happiness. So it's a 1 to 1.5 hour session, generally delivered through the libraries, either in Hawkesbury, in Cornwall. And then we offer 8-week sessions in a row. We have a graduation, and then people have, again, an opportunity to meet friends and make those social connections. This program is on a rotation with youth, adults, and older adults. So again, you can find those sessions on our events page. And then, of course, we have workplace presentations. There is a fee. We've just been trained in a new program called The Working Mind, which is an interactive, again, evidence-based program through the Mental Health Commission of Canada to foster resiliency among employees and managers. So we're working together. So the half-day training is for employees, and the full-day training is for managers, who also learn about building skills for their wellness, but then how to support employees in the workplace. So some of the themes include mental health and stigma, mental health continuum, stress and resilience. And then the important piece at the end is how to support your teams and strategies for ongoing mental health and well-being. Most of our presentations are offered virtual or in person, so people have the option, flexible learning options to meet their needs. A big piece of what we've been doing for 25 years is the lived experience panel speakers. This is probably the most successful mental health promotion program we have. It has been going strong for 2 decades. We currently have about 15 guest speakers from different ages, different backgrounds, different cultures, which is amazing, to speak about their lived experience, whether that be depression, schizophrenia at times, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and how they were able to access services like CMHA and or other services in the community for recovery. And then we open it up to a Q&A. So this has been really wonderful in workplaces, in schools, at campaigns. We just offered this presentation to all police officers in Cornwall, looking to do the same thing in Prescott Russell. I cannot speak enough to the success of this. It helps to reduce stigma, understanding of mental illness. It is by far the most successful program we offer in mental health promotion. Recently, we have adopted a program of CMHA Ontario called Agriculture Wellness Ontario, where this is really focused on farmers and those working or connected to the agricultural community. So there's a lot of focus on stress management as well as suicide prevention. There is a support network called Guardian Network, where they can call, and it's a peer-to-peer support, as well as an educational training that we can offer to that community. It is an amazing program and is delivered by my colleague, Geneviève. She also takes the lead in offering a program aimed at athletes. Again, talking about mental health, reducing stigma, and suicide prevention. And that program is called Talk Today. So that is regularly delivered to 4 hockey teams, but we are open to other athletes as well in our community. So I already mentioned some of the campaigns. So usually we send out an email blast to all of our community partners to help promote these campaigns with clients, engage, share some of our social media. We always have a social media campaign around this, and usually an event that you can participate in. So we do encourage you to do that. And we have many, many volunteer opportunities. Guest speakers, if you know a client who would like to share their story of hope, recovery, and resilience, please send them our way. There is a section on our website for volunteer form that they can fill out. There's opportunities at our resource centers. I tend to call it drop-ins, but it's not drop-in, it's our resource centers. Of course, we offer many booths in the community, so there's opportunities there, fundraising. One of our key signature events each year is our Au Vieux du Luth dinner fundraiser every year in May. So that's coming up, so stay tuned for that. And as well, awareness campaigns. So our funding is provided by Ontario Health, in part by Ontario Health and United Ways, both in Prescott Russell and SDG. So we thank them for their ongoing commitment. So if you have any questions and want to learn more about what we offer in mental health promotion, we do lunch and learns, we do 1-hour sessions at meetings, as well as more intensive trainings where we can come to you in your workplace or help educate or provide some support to your clients if that is needed. So feel free to contact us, or we just generally offer trainings open to anyone in the community, and we post that on our events page. So we do have a little bit of time. So look at that, 10:41, right on time. So if anyone has any questions for either myself or Tammy, we will open it up to you at this point. Thank you for listening.
We thank you so much, Angela and Tammy. That was absolutely amazing. I took notes myself. Lots of programs that I wasn't aware of. I knew what CMHA did in a nutshell, but this definitely covered a lot, which is what we wanted here. So there was a question in the chat from Sharon. She first asked, or it was more of a comment about the CMHA. Is CMHA aware of the success story in Renfrew County where they deleted homelessness with a joint project? Did you want to comment on that, Sharon? No? Okay. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Oh, sorry.
I can comment on it now.
Yeah.
There was the reason I asked that is, we're all concerned about homelessness everywhere. And in the Ottawa Citizen in the Saturday paper on the 15th of April, there was a 2-page article on how the Renfrew County deleted homelessness. And I just wondered if the CMHA in our area knew about that success story. That was my only reason.
Oh, well, I thank you for sharing that. And no, I was not aware of that. However, I am aware of what work is being done in our community. So if you're following City Council, you're hearing about some of the initiatives that are happening here. United Way is a huge, a major key player in homelessness initiatives. There is still some support and some services being offered at the former Parisian Manor. And so there's lots being done in our community, but I would love to read this article, and I will read this article about homelessness. I know there was an article sent to me about initiatives in Gatineau. So we are trying to keep on top of what other people are doing, and we always welcome suggestions. So thank you, Sharon, for that. But I don't know about yourself, Tammy. I know you work a little bit more in-house with some of the homelessness programs, or at least you're connected to what we do, but that is a big part of our mandate, is to prevent and or support those who may be at risk of homelessness and provide resources. So thank you.
And Sharon's other question was about the courses, like, and so I think you kind of covered that in the presentation a little later, unless you wanted to add anything else, Sharon, or if anybody else had any questions as well.
So we do have I mean, I didn't even cover all of the training opportunities. We have 1 hour trainings, on understanding happiness, stress management, stigma. So we do have those smaller trainings that fit into maybe a presentation at a meeting or just a general awareness to the community. I did not mention in that we did apply for funding to start a very popular initiative that many of our branches have been doing already, called Recovery College. We will not be calling it that. We will be calling it the Learning Hub. But Recovery College is where anyone in the community can sign up for ongoing educational opportunities. So through that, and so if we do receive the funding for that, stay tuned, and there will be a website connected to CMHA Champlain East just for that. It'll be everything that is offered for free to the community will be through Recovery College, but again, we're going to change the name to Learning Hub, and that is coming soon. We hope, fingers crossed. So that's exciting, but we're not officially there yet, but some exciting things to come for the community.
That's amazing. Are we going to be sharing your slide deck with the attendees?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of program links and you discussed the catalog. So even if we attach the catalog separately as well, so then everybody here that attended or weren't able to attend could have those resources, because there was a lot covered. So if there
I just wanted to add that the current slides, the current PowerPoint, there's a couple of slides that were missing and changed. So we may have to send out a different link, because I noticed that there was at least one that's missing. So
okay, we'll send you the updated one
that
Tammy wants to share, and as well, the catalog is updated yearly. Our fiscal year starts in April, so every April we'll be updating our catalog of what's current. So if new programs emerge, like Recovery College / Learning Hub, then people will be able to access it that way. So they'll stay up to date on what's offered, as well as our CMHA programs and services. Our website is continuously updated. So if you have access to the website, you can have access to what is updated with our services.
Awesome. All right. So thank you everyone for taking a time out of your morning to join us today. And I guess that's it.
Thank you so much.